Hello, my Taurus Collective. I am here today to give you your message for March 2025. Thank you for everyone that's been liking, subscribing, following, sharing, commenting. I greatly appreciate it. Now, let's talk about astrology before we start in your reading, because there's a big astrological portal that is going to be strongly influence everyone during this period of time and will be influencing us for about 6 months. So let's go into it. First of all, March 14th, there is a full moon in the sign of Virgo. Besides there being a full moon in the sign of Virgo, there is a lunar eclipse. It's a blood moon for that day. What is happening is that you're going to be revealed the obstacles, the limitations, and the restrictions that have been holding back your career, holding back your money, and holding back your physical well-being, your health. Okay. And Libra is kind of telling you, so are you going to sit around and cry about it and say, oh, woe is me? Or are you going to get up and see what you can do to get out of the situation? Okay. Now, mind you, if you guys follow my channel at all, the astrology that I said for January was 2025 will be the year of accountability and responsibility. So the more you resist taking accountability for your life, the more you resist taking responsibility for all the things that you have to do and for the life that you want in your future, then the more you will feel chaos and destruction in your reality. Okay. Next thing, the new moon in the sign of Aries that is going to be taking place on March 29th. Also super important because not only is it a new moon, but there's also a solar eclipse, which will be in the sign of Libra. Okay. And this is like one that will be affecting us for 6 months and that won't be coming back for a while. And what this is a, I want to say the balancing of masculine and feminine energy. This is the removal of power of that masculine distorted energy. Not all masculine energy is bad. I'm talking about the distorted one. This is the emperor in reverse, the tyrant, the one that believes that because of their sex, of their race, of their financial disposability, of the parts in the world that they're located in, of the position they hold in their home and the position they hold in their spiritual community and the position, it doesn't matter, right? That leader has the authority, because of their position, has the authority to oppress people around them. People that are in this energy or the frequency that is in this energy gives themselves justification for squashing another person, for limiting another person. And they have a tendency of choosing friends, like partners, counterparts, blah, 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 that are not as good as they are, that don't have the capacity to do the work, that will destroy more of the problem, because that way they continue to be the leader because they're the smartest person in the room, right? They're the ones that have the most affluence. They're the ones that have the most power, right? So it creates a distortion in the whole system. This also includes yourself, mind you. So this can be where you believe internally that your spiritual theme is always saying that you're right in everything and that you should continue doing this and blocking people and doing this other thing because everybody else is a narcissist, everybody else is toxic, everybody else is the problem, that you are just a small little victim, pobrecito you, for all the bad things that you've experienced. Okay, this is important to tell you because this is what we're fighting against, this victim mentality, this blaming something external for the problem that you have internal. Let's be honest, lots of the situations that we have right now is due to jealousy and envy. How will we allow them or this or that to have authority and to have opportunities that I had to struggle to obtain? Right. And I'm like, well, that would be considered advancement, but not in that person's mind. In that person's mind, I struggle so much, this person should have to struggle too. And that is the issue at hand. Okay. And we can find that in self. We can find that in family. We can find that at work. We can find that in the community. We can find that in the world. We can find that at everything. All right. So that's what this portal is all about. And it's the more resistance to the balance between masculine, feminine, community, and self, that kind of thing, the harder these next 6 months are going to be for you. Okay. Not being empathetic, not opening your heart space, not being on that is all going to bring a lot of negativity during these 6 months. All right. And then the third thing, and I'm going to tell you, is that during this time, starting about the 14th or 15th of March, we have the Mercury retrograde that is going to be in the sign of Aries. Now, the reason I'm saying this is a portal is that only through the 14th through the 29th, the retrograde will be in the sign of Aries, and where our focus is Aries. Okay. And then it switches to the sign of Pisces till the 6th of April. But the important thing is this portal that is all about Aries. Aries will be strongly influenced in this, but also any position that we have autonomy, that we have sovereignty, that we have any points of importance. So this is in self, this is in your home, this is at your work. Every single one of us has some part of our lives that we are the leader. We are the defining factor, and that will be stirred up during this retrograde. And it is made to force you, my Tauruses, to take accountability, take responsibility, and be the person that you were meant to be from the beginning, not giving another thing outside of yourself the power while you are the victim. Okay? So now we go on week number 1 of March. Okay. The first thing that flies out is the 6 of emotions. The 6 of emotions is the 6 of cups. We also have the 8, and it says trapped in fear, and this is the 8 of swords in reverse. So this is good. And then the third thing is the 4 of it says foundation of achievements. This is the 4 of wands. So now you have cups, swords, and wands. And what I'm seeing here is that you are coming into realization, because this is memories of love. You are coming to realization through a period of like recap, right? How you no longer want to break up your life by allowing yourself to be trapped. And so the 8 of swords in reverse is talking about you're freeing yourself from a feeling that you don't have I just heard a divine presence within yourself. Like you are not whole. You are not grounded. You can't establish a home, a life, an energy, all that kind of stuff, you know? So the 4 of wands in reverse is a broken foundation. And here it's like you're realizing that your memories about the broken foundation has kept you trapped up to now, and you're not going to allow it to keep you trapped anymore. You're going to come to a realization that that is who I was, but that's not who I am. And so we're not going to continue to feed that narrative. Okay? Tell me more about that. And we have the 11th house, which is your for humanity's sake, your hope, your wishes, do it for the future. And then the 11th house here, it feels like you're starting to realize that your energy, how it affects your world, the decisions you make, how it affects your neighbor, the decisions you make, how it affects you, your family, your loved ones, and how it has broken down a lot of your foundations, and you no longer want that energy to hold you back. It's like all for one and one for all, because you're finally releasing the memories of the past. Second week. We have the 3 of wands. This says partnerships and alliances, and it's talking about that the only way that you're going to look for opportunities to grow and expand is to connect to others, is to see others and see the world through other people's eyes besides only your own. It's through real physical connection. This tells me that somebody here in the collective of Taurus has been very like isolated, where they've lived behind a computer screen listening to things and whatever, and they've created a reality just for themselves in their little bubble. And now that bubble is busting, and you're coming to this realization that the world isn't as you created it behind a computer screen, and it's important for you to go outside, connect to new people, connect to new environments, and see the world through the eyes of another. Then we have the throat chakra, which literally is telling me that is talking to other people, but physically talking to other people, physically connecting, physically going out there. And this will bring you victory. This is the Six of Wands, and this is an awakening. It's kind of like the trumpets of the final days of judgment, kind of waking you up from a dream that you've been stagnant in for a long period of time because you created a bubble in which you were in. Two cards came out. One of them is the 12th house. This is interesting because these are the last two houses of the zodiac, and you're very much working through the end of the zodiac. And it's saying seeking oneness with all there is. See, philanthropy, keep your involvement hidden. And I feel like an energy of you going out into the world, you connecting with people. And then you have the fifth house. It says the power of love, investments, gambles, or other games and creation. And it's like, then it activates your heart chakra, then it activates your voice, then it activates this creation energy in which you're changing the world around you because you're connecting to something outside of the groups that you have always connected to, which is the ones that you hide in this little bubble. You're like literally opening up to a different reality. Okay. I don't like, I'm really called into this number, so I'm going to look it up. It's 356. Here, 356. 356. This is a time of expansion. I done told you to go out into the world, no longer connected into this small little bubble. And it's important for you to connect with how you are serving others. Shut the frickin' front door. This will open up the channel of God, for God to serve you. Literally, that is some crazy trippy shit. Like, this is exactly what I'm feeling here. It's like I'm getting out of behind a computer screen, and I'm actually going out into the world and talking to people and connecting to people and making growth and expansion, seeing the world through another person's eyes, seeing how I can help that person because I am out of this bubble. That's what this feels like. Third week. So the first thing that comes out is number 5, which is the Hierophant, and it's talking about wisdom. Then we have 2 of Wands, waiting game. And then we have the 4 of Swords, but in reverse, and it says rest and rejuvenation in reverse. Literally, it feels like the five Hierophant here feels like going out there, speaking to people, engaging with people, showing people like what your belief systems are, and allowing for others to expand their belief systems, and just like understanding the world in a different way. It's like becoming the Hierophant, becoming like wise, because you are allowing yourself to expose yourself to different people, places, things, and energies that expand you to something different. That's the reason I kind of like traveling sometimes to different places. It's not for me to see how good I have it in the United States. It's because the more I travel, the more I realize that everybody that's out there all want the same thing. They want to feel safe. They want families to feel safe. They want their kids to grow and thrive. They want to live in peace. You know, the majority of the people, like, we're not trying to be bazillionaires because it's fucking stupid. What we want is to feel safe, secure, financially well, make sure we provide for our kids, make sure we provide for ourselves, and make sure to fill our lives with things that will make us feel whole, right? And the more you do it, the more you realize we're all the freaking same. And then the 2 of Wands is talking about it being cycles of growth, of expansion. You know, you're moving dimensions and realities because you're just allowing cycles to move through you. And then the Four of Swords in reverse is like, I'm no longer asleep. Now I have awakened. I moved from this energy of being the monk to now being the priest, right? I moved from the energy of isolation where I'm trying to grow myself and heal myself and expand myself to now go out in the world and allow myself to grow, expand, and heal through others, right? There is, it's so funny because spirituality has a way of isolating yourself because you're doing a healing process and then you're so zen, but when you expose yourself to another person or another environment or whatever, you lose yourself. And so it's a, are you really helping yourself if you're not actually engaging with others? And it's like, that's part of it. Like, you're part of growing and expanding in spirituality is seeing how you can take yours sense of center and expose it to other people and then bring them into center, or evolve your sense of center. And this is like, I feel like somebody's really growing. Okay, sorry, all of a sudden I got called to the wick of my candle because it just keeps growing upwards, but it hasn't brought down. Okay, now, next thing we have is the seventh house. Diplomacy, relationships, get a fair deal. And see, this is again shaking hands with something else. It's being diplomatic, it's connecting to other people's, it's to see the world through other person's eyes, is understanding where you fit in their world and they fit in your world and how you guys can work with each other. Then we have this energy of the eighth house, which is as a life as a life or death situation, getting and using power, using other people's resources. And this, for me, feels like realizing the importance of what another person or another group, another organization has to contribute to yourself, and how both of them working together, one is not better than the other. Okay, like there's this, I want to say, belief system that the United States, they that we're number one, we're number one, we're number one. No, we're only as good as our allies. We're only as good as we can work with another. Okay, the reason United States got free to begin with is because it created these bonds. And so this is kind of the same thing that I'm feeling here. This feels very diplomatic, but whatever. And like very governmental, this reading, but whatever. It feels like seeing and the use and the value of the people around you, seeing the use and the value of their resources, seeing the use and the value of their knowledge. This is also like through generations. There's like so many people that perceive that an older person is stupid or dumb because they're old. You know, like what are they going to know? They're just backdated. No, there's a lot of truth, there's a lot of growth, and there's a lot of knowledge in older individuals. They have grown and lived different realities and different lives, and sometimes they show us what it is that we don't want to do for our future, right? And sometimes they show us how to simplify and how to think about the important things in our lives. And so keep in mind that this can fit many different things, not just the political agenda, right? But this is like seeing what value and uses every single thing has in our lives. Fourth week. I like this. These first two that flew out is the Six of Swords to the Seven of Swords. It's literally moving away from the deceit, the lies that have been around us, removing masks to what I've been told and realizing that that little bubble that I was in was all a freaking lie. And it's time for me to connect to the truth, my neighbor, the people around me, the expansion around me. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which literally is, then it creates a situation like a phoenix rising where there's an awakening inside of me and there's an expansion inside of me and there's a change inside of me that is moving forward. And this comes with the energy of Gemini, which I love because it's seeing the world through different pairs of eyes. It's the duality of the world. What you want to be, known, what is believed about, and use the quickest way. And so what this is talking about is how you want to be perceived in the world. like how you want the world to be and the quickest way to get there, right? And the duality is that, sometimes when we isolate ourselves, we think that we're helping ourselves. And there was a huge agenda in the spiritual world of like creating healthy boundaries, and healthy boundaries being isolating yourself. No, healthy boundaries is literally being out in the world and expressing things, and then seeing how you have to, what you have to heal, that you consider a trigger, but it's really a wound that you need to address, is not the other person's responsibility, and actualizing things that will help you move in that direction. But the thing is, the more you isolate yourself, the more you're limiting the world from getting your ideas, expanding in your way of thinking, and understanding the world through your eyes. But the same vice versa. The more you isolate yourself, you don't allow another person to see that. And it's like, it's a need to kind of return yourself to the world instead of hiding yourself from the world. And it is time now. And you're going to be a lot richer at the end of this. So first, let's see what the full moon will bring you. The awakening, psychic abilities. This is opening your third eye. You're starting to see the world differently. Okay. What the new moon will bring you. We have the career, and this is going up in the ladder. Actually, what I'm seeing is this situation where you're healing your material world and your career, and you're opening yourself up to more people that might advance your career, that might help you grow, that might help you whatever, because of the fact that you're more open to it now, right? And then in the retrograde, balance, justice. You're starting, and this is the energy of Libra. So for you, wherever your Libra placement is going to be very, very, very influential during this time, because you are literally coming to this realization that there is a need to balance. There is way too much online everything, and way too little let me talk to my neighbor. So yeah, it's a call of faith. It's a call to get out there. It's a call to be more authentically yourself, because you are allowing others to see the world through your eyes, and you're allowing yourself to see the world through another's. So very positive, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed that message, and we'll see you the next time.